Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. I've worked for the Internal Revenue Service for a decade. You should let my years at IRS and my experience really work for you. I've been on the national news many times. Some of you have come to me because you've seen me on a couple of the big stations, Fox Business, ABC, News Nation, Newsmax. Anyway, what I want to talk to you is you are working with a big box company, a big tax resolution mill, and you're not getting your communication back and forth, and you're not sure whether something's right or wrong. There's probably some things that you need to know about these big box companies. I wrote a book with Peter Salinger, my partner. Just so you know, I want to take my time. I'm going to go through this quick, but it's like, inside the tax resolution industry, the offer and compromise, just so you know. So what's happening and what's going on is that these big mills spend a couple $1 million a year in advertising, radio, actually newspaper, digital, all across every medium they can. And really large hedge funds own some of these companies. They're owned by a variety of companies, and what they do, they know there's a lot of money to be made. So what they did is they build a sales force, good sales force. These salespeople are really good. My God, they're getting $20,000, $30,000 from some people, not all. And their back end, to me, is very weak because I see the work that's being done and the work that's being produced. What they do is they get usually some enrolled agents, they have a head attorney or head CPA, and the salesman makes their pitch, they send you a contract, they get as much as they can, and then your case goes back in the system and you're not getting results and the communications is slow. It turns out to be a real mess. So how you can stop that problem is not hire these companies. My God, the calls I get, there's a couple companies that I get continual calls on, and I know what's happening. You're being well overpriced. The promises that were made are not being, it can't be gotten because they're saying they can reduce your debt, which they can't. I've looked at the financial statement. They can abate penalties and interest. They can't do that either. Is you need either to speak to an attorney, a CPA, an enrolled agent, or former IRS agent, people who actually who know what they're doing, have a license with IRS, and they're not giving you a sales pitch. If someone is giving you a promise that they can reduce your debt like that because you responded to an ad, unless they've looked at your current financial statement, they cannot do that. It's impossible to do that. There's a real specific procedure called the offer and compromise to go ahead and to reduce your tax debt. So my warning to you, if you've got a big box company making promises about penalties and interest and settling your debt, chances are, you, not all the time, but I'm going to say 9 out of 10, you better run, because what they're doing is they're telling you what you want to hear, and what you want to hear cannot possibly take place on the back end. You'll really have to speak to a professional. Anyway, I'm here if you need me. Please be careful. You should at least shop 3 people, at least shop 3 forms. If you have to, Zoom with the person. See if they're real. See if they're face-to-face, can tell you not, and let you know exactly how they're going to do this. Be really interesting to see what happens. Call me if you need me. Give me a subscription. I always tell you what you need. Thank you.